always been a fan of the Mini Cooper, but you wanted something practical, luxurious and still fun to drive while retaining the quirks. Mini has always had the Countryman. Now for 2024 they have unveiled the Untamed Edition. Basically it's the Countryman S but with some quirky new additions that is exclusive to this limited edition variant. Let's see how this compact fun little crossover is. The front end is quite essential Countryman and I really like it. Honestly, it still retains the quirky mini features which stand out on the road and it looks really good. What is exclusive to this Untamed Edition is the addition of this color. This is Momentum Grey and it looks sort of Nardo Grey in the sun, but it looks honestly really good with some black additions around the headlight and on the lower parts of the bumper. It looks really good. When you come to the side of the car, then again it has the typical silhouette. You have got some cladding running around the fenders on the bottom part, but you've got some stickering as well. This is exclusive to the Untamed Edition. I'm not a big fan of the stickering because it looks a bit on the ricer side, but again they had to make the car stand out, so I guess it works on the limited edition car. You do also have a plaque on the fender that says Untamed and a plaque on the C-pillar that says Untamed. Again, they're trying to make this car stand out compared to the regular run-of-the-mill Countryman S's on the road, and I think this definitely looks really good. Another bonus are these wheels. I really like these diamond cut wheels with the black finish. I think they look really good, especially in the sun, and when they're clean they look amazing, especially on the move. When they're moving they just look too good. The rear of the Countryman, again, I really like the way it looks. It's got lots of busy elements. It's got big badging of Countryman in black. For the Untamed Edition, you have Cooper S and lots of black elements. Even the Mini emblem is matching to the paint shade, even in the front. And I think that stands out compared to the regular Minis. It looks really good. You've got the same Union Jack taillights, which again I really like. It's reminding of people of the British heritage that the Mini has always carried, and this looks really good. Small Ford diffuser and twin pipes on the exhaust which are functional and they sound really good. Again, Mini didn't have to fool around too much to make this car distinguished from the regular, and just minor touches here and there make it stand out on the road. I'm now inside the Mini Countryman S Untamed Edition, and it's the usual Mini affair here. You have the big screen here round with the iDrive controls, wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. Lots of stuff you can play with the iDrive. It's touch and you can use the rotary knob in between. You do have the digital small instrument cluster with the speed and some trip meter and minor information. It's not too thorough like other cars in the segment, but it's enough, bare basic when you're driving. You do have a heads-up display as well to show some extra information like the speed, and you don't actually have to take your eyes off the road, which I personally like. Many heads-up display units are a hit or miss. This is definitely a hit. It's perfectly in the position of your eyes while you're driving, and it's adjustable, so that's very cool. You've got the same 3-spoke steering wheel which I really like. Feels very nice. It's very chunky and it's not too big but thick, so when you hold it you feel nice, and when you're driving it feels perfect in your hands. And the build quality, like the finish of the leather, is also really good. You've got basic buttons for the volumes and the cruise control, so this does not have adaptive cruise control. It's just simple cruise control with lane keep, which is okay. It's sufficient. Not the best out there in the market, but at least it has the lane keep and basic safety assists. You've got some very nice tactile feeling paddle shifters which I really like, and then you have the same joystick like gear lever, which I again really like. I don't like the small little joystick. I would say this is the bigger joystick, the smaller joystick that the newer BMWs have. Thank God Mini still has the older one. You've got rotary knobs for the AC controls which feel very tactile, and you've got the famous Mini toggle switches which remind you of a fighter jet. Same for the up for the puddle lights and for the sunroof opening. Same for the start stop, traction control and the drive modes. What's exclusive to the Untamed Edition is this white sort of finish on the center console, which looks really good, especially when the sun is popping. It really brings a lot of quirkiness, difference to the interior. I think the regular Countryman, it's gloss black, so this definitely stands out. It looks very good. What's also exclusive to the Untamed Edition is these seats. This seat is called Highland Green, and I personally really like it. At night, it might not be that prominent. It might seem just like a black or gray seat. But in the day like this, on a cloudy day or on a sunny day, this green really pops. And it's got contrasting of green and blue stitching, which just looks really good. Honestly, it's so nice. It's one of the better options you've picked on this car. You do have extendable under thigh supports as well, and the seat themselves are very comfortable as well. Again, this car is meant to be practical for your family, for everything, and it's very, very comfortable. You can totally daily drive this. I'm now in the rear of the Countryman. As you can see, I have a lot of room, a lot of knee room, a lot of place to tuck in my feet under, a lot of headroom as well. I think 6-footers would also easily fit in the back, not a problem. And you know, the regular Cooper has a big issue with space. This is so much more practical, and I can totally see why this car makes so much sense if you still want the mini heritage, because it's so practical. Even the boot is decently big at around 400 or 450 liters. It can accommodate the basic weekend trip luggage easily. The seat, the under thigh support could have been a bit better, but the backrest is really nice. It's a bit too tilted, but it's very soft, very plush. You do have a center armrest as well with cup holders. You have some storage in the doors as well, and this whole green theme that's carried on for the interior with the stitching, again, it just looks so good. Another bonus is that you have a second sunroof here. It doesn't open the glass, but you can open and close the blind manually, which brings in again a lot more light to here. Again, one does not expect a Mini to be spacious in the back, but this car breaks all those notions. I'm now behind the wheel of the Countryman Untamed Edition. Let's get the numbers out of the way. This has a 2-liter turbocharged petrol engine, produces about 190 horsepower. This has all-wheel drive, or all 4 in Mini terminologies. It has a 8-speed dual clutch gearbox. So let's see how this crossover drives. Slot into drive and set off, and it has a stop start for fuel economy. And I'm on a bumpy stretch right now, and the ride is very forgiving because this car has the adaptive suspension. Normal Minis, or in Minis in other markets, like I've driven the Countryman in India as well, and that did not have, and the ride was supremely stiff. On this, it's very much bearable. Honestly, even though this is running on low profile tires and on 18-inch wheels, it's still very much tolerable, and on a daily basis you can live with this on Toronto roads. We all know Toronto roads aren't the best, but now as I hit a smoother patch of road, the ride is honestly sublime. With the seat comfort and everything, it's really, really good. There are different drive modes, so you have normal, eco and sport, and I'm in normal mode right now, and it's just enough pep. The gearbox is good, it downshifts pretty eagerly, and you do have paddles to do it. But if you put it to sport mode, and if you put the drive mode into sport, the engine becomes a little louder. You can hear it. Oh, you can hear that. It's pumped in audio, but definitely you can hear from outside as well, which is nice. Oh, the road is bumpy, but not much gets filtered in. Brakes are good, pedal feel is good, but if you hoon this car even a little bit, the brakes tend to overheat, and you have to be careful for brake fade. But otherwise, I mean, what can I say? It drives like a Mini, a bigger Mini. It has all the compact Mini dynamics, so the front end is really good. The rear is very much planted. It's just so fun. I get carried away because like I'm so immersed in the driving experience that it drives so well. I can't talk much. The fuel economy is really good as well. So if you drive on the highway, you can easily get 6.5 to 7 liters per 100, which is a commendable fuel economy. In the city, you can get about 8.59 liters. I've been driving like a hooligan because I want to hear the exhaust. I've been driving the sport mode, so I've been getting 11.5, 12 liters per 100. But if you drive it like a normal person, under 10 liters per 100 is very much possible in the city. Again, it's got all the perks of the Mini chassis and how the Cooper drives, but you have extra ground clearance to deal with some bad potholes, speed breakers, and the ride is much better because of the extended chassis, which is bought from the BMW X1, which is a great starting platform. Again, what can I say? It's just a lot of fun to drive. Oh, I can just hear the engine all day. And then upshift. The gearbox is jerky in sport mode, but if you take things matters into your own hands, the pedals are supremely responsive, and it just goes up and down the gear so quickly when the pedal. Look at that, with downshift. Ooh, and it just downshifts so quickly. Upshift, downshift, I can just play all day. It's so nice. Honestly, if I were to buy this car, I'd just buy it just because of the way this car drives. Wow. In conclusion then, the 2024 Mini Countryman S Untamed Edition. Very long name, very small car, but it's a very good one at that. It drives really well, it looks really quirky, it's decently spacious actually if you compare to the regular Cooper, decent boot, decently efficient as well. What else do you need from a compact crossover? And it has the Mini iconic badge as well. I know purists from the Mini group don't like the Countryman, but I personally love the Countryman because it blends in the perfect mix of looks and fun and practicality. Not many cars can do this. At around $44,000 Canadian for this Untamed Edition, which is a limited edition, and I really don't mind it because Minis are supposed to be fun and quirky, and this Untamed Edition is just that. This very car, however, is at around $52,000 Canadian with some options, but I think those options are very much worth it because it really uplifts the whole experience of driving this car.